It's YouTube, baby. What's up, my YouTubeianiacs?
Ugh.
That's that's what
That
that's what everyone that's watching this part right now. That's what they all are. They're the YouTubeianiacs.
that might need a little work.
The YouTube analacs. How you doing? My favorite YouTube analac, Jake.
Uncomfortable.
That's kind of our thing.
But yeah, man, what are we gonna talk about?
We could talk about how salty you got last night.
I think it was warranted.
Ah, I don't know.
Yes, it was.
Eh, I mean, when you watch back Bobby getting tossed, it's like it's playoffs. They shouldn't have tossed him, and if it would have been Giannis, they wouldn't have. But since it's crazy-eyed Bobby, it's like it's easier to fucking toss him when he looks like this all the time. So, but I
It
mean,
still it wasn't that bad. It did not need an ejection.
I mean, I think it should have been had they not also kind of been like, oh, Embiid, who cares that you're trying to injure people?
Hmm.
Like that's the big thing. Like I don't know who the refs were for that game and for this one because like the refs don't need to be famous, but they need to like have stuff just across the board because it's like yeah, as a player you shouldn't be slapping another player in the face because again he struck him twice, so it's like yeah, it makes sense that it's two technicals, but if you're not going to be calling and be kicking someone in the balls twice and then wrapping up their legs, then you should give a little bit more leash to old crazy-eyed Bobby.
Yeah. And I just, dude, I bet I heard it 10 times. You gotta give the Pacers credit tonight. I was just like, why?
The best ability is availability, and they got that in spades right. Oh,
It's like, dude, like, I don't know. Like, I'm not a Doc fan at all. But at the same time, it's like, I don't really know what I would do either. I would, he was
here's
trying to
the
rotate everybody. He was trying zone, man on man. It's like, guy was just trying.
here's the honest truth though, and this is like I've watched a good chunk of Doc Rivers when he was with the Clippers, and like his best coaching, it isn't when he had Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. It wasn't that. It wasn't when he had Paul George, Kawhi. It was like that season where his best two players were Pat Bev and Montrezl Harrell. It's like that was his best season of actual coaching. Because otherwise, it's just him kind of go, like, oh, let's hope that the star players do star player things. So it's like, yeah, he when he has like like G leaguers and Pat Bev, like he can get a good bit out of them, but
Yeah,
it's like when his coaching comes into questions, like when you would have had a healthy Dame and a healthy Giannis, because then that's when shit just hits the fan for him.
right. Yeah, but I feel like if you've got to healthy those guys, you know, their record wasn't as good as when it was Bud, but it's like they
Or
at
even when
least
it
know
was
what to,
Adrian Griffin.
yeah, but those guys still know what to do on the court. So I don't know. I was just so annoyed with the giving them credit comment. It's like, bro, they're already a great fucking team and they're playing nobodies and and Pat Bev, like you just said. It's like, come on, man. Their leading scorer was Brooke Lopez, who had both the best game you've seen out of Brooke and also the worst fucking game you've seen out of Brooke. It's like
Yep.
you don't there's no credit to give. They're a way better team. It's not like they came in the underdogs. If the Bucks had won that game, then you give the Bucks credit for beating an all-star fucking Pacers team, not the other way around.
All-star. That's fucking stretching it, man.
They're a fucking killer team this year. What do you
They're a
mean?
great team this year, but being like, oh, this all-star team, they have one all-star.
No, I didn't mean literal all-star players. They're
Oh, okay,
playing
sorry.
lights out.
I got you, bud. I got you. But no, I mean, if from the start, I've been thinking Brooke Lopez is the key for you guys to win, not to put on my Stephen A. Smith hat. Like, but whoa, whoa, whoa. Brooke Lopez, he was playing like a man possessed. No, because it's like back in the day, I remember watching the Bucks play the fucking Pacers, and it was like when we had both Miles and Saboner, and Brooke was just like he just looked like a dad playing against his Sioux sons out there because they just couldn't do shit. But now he's gotten like a little bit older. It's kind of like when Miles did that thrunk on him. It's just like it's my time now, old man.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. I I don't know. It's just annoying because it's like this isn't even our fucking team. I
Yeah,
wanted it to be I wanted it to be an actual game.
yeah. I
And
mean,
and the fact that the Bucks lost by 10 points the other night, I think says an awful lot about their bench.
it says an awful lot about their bench, the way that Doc coaches the scrubs, basically. And then it also says a lot about the Pacers because, and this is one of the things I was worried about too. And when we were texting in the, it would have been the game before that, where I was like, I think they might choke this away in the fourth quarter. The Pacers are not good at winning. So it's like, they can get leads and they can win close games, but they don't like blowing people out for some fucking reason. And I
And
have
it
a
should have been a blowout.
yeah, both of them honestly should have been both of those games. So yeah, it's just like if they get to the Knicks, because I really think that's what's going to be next round. If they get to the Knicks, I'm like 100% worried.
Yeah. I just I felt bad for game 3. That was the one prior, right?
Yeah,
Because, well, one, I sent you that thing on Twitter of what's his name fucking traveling there at the end, and that was what he scored that basket on. So whether it happens all the time or not, that doesn't make it less frustrating. And two, Middleton had a Michael Jordan night, and it didn't matter because they didn't win. And
yep,
that sucks because it's great when he has those nights because it's like he's old and he's still got it
yeah,
sometimes. So and two clutch 3-pointers. I mean, those were just awesome to watch.
yeah. No, it was that whole last bit. I'm like, this is just stupid Pacers, first off, because you guys were at how much and you just let the
Over 20. Over 20. And you let fucking Chris, who's out there on crutches, fucking drop all those 42 points.
you let the fucking Ferris wheel Chris Middleton.
Yeah. So I don't know. It sounds like Giannis won't be back for the next one, so that's pretty much just that's it. And even if he
Yeah.
is, it's like how many teams come back from being down 1-3 to win? Because I don't think
More
it's many.
well, more in like the earlier stages of the playoffs. Only one's done it in the finals. But you know who did that? Old LeBron James. That's why he's my GOAT. But yeah, and more teams have done it in the other things because it's like happened to Doc Rivers. Oddly enough, I think three times. I think it's three because I think he did it. It happened once when he was in Orlando, and then it happened. I think when he was with the Celtics, and then I know it happened when he was with the Clippers. He blew a 3-1 lead. So
Did Doc play?
yeah, he was all over. I know he was with the Spurs for like a hot minute before I was really paying too much attention to the Spurs. Like I wasn't paying. Like I think Duncan and Robinson were on the team when he was on. So it's like I knew who they were, but I was not paying attention to a Doc Rivers.
Yeah. So he wasn't like an all-star or anything like
Now,
that.
this is a thing that you'll kind of notice too. For the most part, and like this is like there's like exceptions, like Jason Kidd would be like the exception to the rule. Most of the really good coaches out there that played in the NBA were not the best players. I mean, like Magic Johnson tried coaching for a hot minute and that didn't end well.
Yeah. You mean the exception is Steve Kerr, right?
Oh, I mean, fair enough. Because like Larry Bird's another like proper exception because he coached the Pacers for I think 2 or 3 seasons, and then grumpy and perfect grumpy old man Larry Bird fashion. He's like, I couldn't win these couple seasons. I quit. I'm gonna go get a job front office. I've lost the locker room. And everyone's like, no, you haven't. You're Larry Bird. And he's like, no, no, the locker room's
They
lost.
hate me. That's so funny. Trying to think of another like true exception.
I mean, they're out there, but yeah, I mean, because like it's like when you mentioned Steve Kerr, he like no point. I mean, I still don't think he's a good coach, but he was never a star when he was playing. So,
Yeah.
um, like Isaiah Thomas was a coach for a minute. He thought he was very good, but he couldn't keep a job because he wasn't very good.
The Wolves fucking blew the Suns out of the water.
I know, dude. I was looking at our predictions and I was like 5 for the Suns, and you're like, I think it's gonna be closer. It's gonna be 7 Suns. And boy, we were both just so stupid on that one.
In my defense, I haven't watched or paid attention to the Timberwolves one time this season. I
I've
knew that
watched
their
them.
record was really good, but
I watched them some, but my biggest thing was like the Suns fucking killed them all year. Like they, didn't lose once to them. Made them look stupid. And then there's like, playoff Anthony Edwards is just different.
I'll say this. I really genuinely liked you see all these interviews with KD, and he's just like, hey, they won the game. They can say and do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Never once was he like a total bitch about it. And I'm like, right on.
Yeah. Well, I think it helps that Ant fucking loves him. So like him shit talking him is just him being like, oh, this is like respect type shit talk. It's not like a regular like when a fan calls him a bitch, that type of thing.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, good stuff. Also, I didn't realize it was a thing that there's a conspiracy about him being Michael Jordan's son.
I've seen that with Anthony Edwards, and I've also seen that with Jimmy Butler, both being Mike's kids, which it's like, I mean, the math would check out either way for either of them. So
Yeah. Oh well. I saw people they did like half Ant, half MJ, and I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know, guys.
yeah,
Like
no,
they don't look that similar.
no,
But anyway. All right, should we do the episode?
yeah, let's do it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Two Worlds podcast. I'm Jake, and with me, as always, is the Ram V to my Dan Waters. It's Casey. What's up, buddy?
Not much, man. I don't think we're that talented. I'm not gonna lie.
We're not, but I had Creature sitting on top of the pile, and I'm like, ooh, there we go.
Perfect.
But yeah, if you want to hear Casey and I talk about the NBA because it's playoff time, you can do that over on the YouTube channel. We are Two Worlds Podcast on YouTube.
You guys also, if you watch that part, you get a new nickname.
Yeah, but that's for
Jake,
YouTube watchers only.
yep. Jake was very happy with it. He's gonna even get shirts made with it.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Let us know down below. Do you want a YouTube shirt?
All right. No comments on the regular video. We had one on one of your unboxing videos, but I didn't understand it.
Oh, I'll have to look at it. I haven't seen that yet.
Hang on, I have it up
I got it.
here.
Speaking of the unboxings, I recorded two more, so I'll just have to get the editing, the old clip champ up going again and get a couple videos uploaded. Hopefully we'll get one this weekend.
So he put this not in double quotes, but single quotes all together. PROMOSM. Promosm?
I have no idea.
Don't know. Don't even know if it's a real person or not.
Either way, thanks for the comment.
Yeah, I'm gonna thumbs up the comment. Anyway. Um, okay. I didn't have any news bits this week. There
I
wasn't
saw
shit out there.
I was like, I saw that and I was like, dude, did he just like, did something going on with our Google Doc, like where it's not, where it's glitching, where that's happened before,
No,
or
dude, I
what?
was like, oh, it's C2E2 week. Like they're gonna announce some stuff. Nothing.
Speaking of, I gotta tell you this story that I think, like, because we talked like, oh yeah, man, the Funko Pop market's just fucking dead. We always talk like that about it. We're idiots. So I saw on the C2E2 like YouTube or Facebook group that I'm in, I guess at C2E2 they had like a Funko Pop like thing there, like Funko Pop was there, and people were like, yeah, so you had to like register, I think online for like a certain time, and then you had to wait hours. Like, so like one person was like, I lucked out and I got the noon time slot. So I had got there at, I think they said 11 o'clock, and they waited until 12:30 when this first line was done, and then they got into their 12 o'clock line, which was another 2 hours, and everyone was doing it. I guess it was a fucking shit show with the Funko Pop stuff, because like it was like people were like, yeah, mine was a 3 o'clock, so I didn't get done with this until 6 o'clock. That's all I did that day. I was like, damn, what is it, Marv Wolfman in there or something? But so I
Yeah,
don't know
that's
what was going on, but people were like fucking loving the Funkos. So we were just wrong.
I guess that they must have done just the coolest exclusive.
Must have. I did
Which,
see someone
sorry,
post, you're good, man. I saw someone post a Yajirobe Funko Pop,
nice.
which I'm like, that's pretty
So
sweet.
that segs into what I was gonna say. I remember a few years back they did a Yamcha,
Yeah, oh,
uh,
that's awesome.
and then I picked one up. You might have picked one up. The
Goten and Trunks.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
Goten and Trunks doing the fusion dance, I think.
Yeah.
So
It was funny. Like I still have it, but I was like one time I put it up on Mercari to sell, and I put like a crazy price, and I knew it was. And this guy was like, "I'll give you this for it." I'm like, I don't want that for it. I want this for it." And then he's like, "You're not gonna get that." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "So take this." I'm like, "No." So like, because he sent me like the offer, so then like he did it again. So this time I just doubled my asking price, and I sent that back as my counter offer, and then he left me alone.
that's amazing. Fuck those people.
Yeah, it's like, because it's one thing, like I don't know, if you're trying to get like $20 off, that's one thing. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna do it because I just don't need to sell it. Like I'm not in any like, if you want to give me too much money for this, I will gladly sell it to you, but I don't have to. I'm not at that
Yeah.
point.
The one that gets me, and this has happened to me so many times. And back when I used to do Facebook Marketplace for books at the shop, it would happen. But I would put in all caps, no trades. And everybody would be like, I know you say no trades, but I've got these books. Would you want to trade? And I'd be like, no, because I said no fucking trades.
Yeah.
No, I don't want your shitty fucking books. I want money.
Yeah.
Money, please.
It's like I'll do a trade if you just give me those books for free and then a wad of cash with them.
I'll trade you D's nuts. How about that? Don't fucking message me.
They just
But
pull up a
anyway.
knife and they're like, whip them out.
Oh, for fuck's sake. But yeah, um, Preston and Alex of the testing room were there on Saturday. They said they had a good time. Preston was an absolute doll and got my copy of A Way of Kings signed by author Brandon Sanderson, who was there. He is like my favorite working author right now, so I was pretty bummed that we didn't get to go, but Preston offered to get the book signed, which was so cool of him. So I cannot wait to have that back and to just to see his signature on it.
Yeah, that's awesome
Um,
though.
but yeah, sounds like they had a great time. And hopefully next year it's not super fucking late in the year.
Yeah, and hopefully it's also just not a fucking nightmare. This year sounded like, just from the way people are talking on the Facebook group, where it's just like just so many people, like it sold out every day. So it was just a fucking mess, I guess, as far as
Yeah.
like parking and all of that stuff, which is like it always is, but still.
They almost needed to break it up into both sides of the convention center.
Hmm.
Like they use that one whole side just to check bags and like walk in. It's like, come on, dude. Put some
Yeah.
shit over there too.
Yeah.
Even if it's all the celebrity interactions, you know?
Or if it's just the Funko Pop line. Because
Yeah, for
like,
real.
yeah, I mean that would be good too that way. But like I think part of the problem with that, and this could like I know one of the years we went, I remember this, I don't know if you do, there was like a proper business like thing going on at like another conference center that was like just next door. So I'm like, this is the weirdest groups of people. Like there was like random like, business casual folks walking around and there'd be like Spider-Man behind them.
Yeah, yeah. One guy in a full suit and briefcase walking next to a furry.
Yeah.
I do the early days it was over there where the bag check is because that
Mhm.
the year that I have that awkward hand photo with Chad Michael Murray, it was over there. And we mildly snuck upstairs to get that really cool photo of us with the
Yeah.
whole convention behind. That was a great time.
Yeah.
But
I love how that first year there was a lot of stuff that we got to do that I don't think we'd be allowed to
oh,
do now.
we'd never get away with it, dude. We were
Yeah.
just walking anywhere and nobody was stopping us.
Yeah. And then like I remember Scott was like his commission was coming in late. So then Dustin Eugen was just like, you guys just hang out behind and we'll go. And then like he's like, yeah, this is your first time, at a con. You're getting to hang out after hours.
Yeah, dude, we got some steals on commissions those first couple of
Hmm.
years.
Big
Just
time.
absolute steals. I, and I hate to be like, oh, you just had to be there, but like that, those were good years.
Yeah.
You could interview anybody.
Oh yeah.
Nowadays, I feel like
You
that's like
gotta
really tough
set
because
shit up.
everybody's trying to do it.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right, man, let's go through your news.
All
I'll
right.
just sit here like a good boy and listen.
So also, this is the latest thing I saw. I saw it like literally while I was on the toilet before we got on here. But Scooby-Doo's getting a live action Netflix show produced by Greg Bertolanti. And you were a fan of like early Arrow stuff. So are you like, ooh, this could be cool? Or are you just kind of like, it's probably gonna suck?
It's probably gonna suck.
Yeah, probably.
I don't want it to,
Yeah.
but I don't know. We've already had the live action Scooby that we all like, so
And then I guess some of those sequel ones aren't as bad as they looked.
was there more than two?
So there was the two by Gunn, and then there were, I think, I want to like, I could be wrong, but I think it was three straight to DVD/Cartoon Network.
With the same cast?
Different cast. It was supposed to be with them younger. They got this one, like the girl that's playing Velma is stupid hot, but the rest of them, they look kind of like they all kind of look like great value version of the of the James Gunn cast. But And then they also were like, hey, Freddie Prinze Jr., he had black hair originally. Let's just not dye our new Freddie's hair.
Yeah, that I don't know. I mean, it looks stupid now, but at the time I remember being like, "Oh, it's he looks like Freddy."
Yeah.
Oh, but gosh, I mean, fucking Linda Cardellini and Sarah Michelle Gellar, you couldn't have picked a better fucking pair of ladies.
Dude,
Both are
Cardellini
just
was just
knockouts.
Cardellini was just too hot to be Velma though.
Still is,
Oh,
man.
hell yeah.
Whew. Fucking
It's
spit in
like
my mouth.
it's just like it's just hilarious to me though. It's like they're like, ah, the best thing we can do for her is just to be Clint Barton's wife in the Avengers movies. It's like, really? You can't do anything else with Velma?
Yeah, I agree. A wasted talent.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find these live action ones. I'm
Well,
having some trouble.
all right. So I'm gonna type it up. So talk like outside of Linda Cardellini and Sarah Michelle Gellar, what was your favorite part about those other live action Scooby-Doos?
Hmm. I mean, Matthew Lillard was funny.
He's like, I mean, there's a sign that I mean, there's a reason why he still does the voices because he's so good. Like he is so good as as Scooby. So this came out in 2009. It's called Scooby-Doo: The Mystery Begins. It stars Nick Palatas as Shaggy, Kate Melton as Daphne, Robbie Amell as Fred, and
Robbie
Haley
Amell is Fred.
is he related to Stephen Amell?
Yeah, they're cousins.
Oh, okay, so I have no clue. And then Haley Kiyoko as Velma Dinkley.
Huh. Yeah, I had no clue.
I thought they made more, but I'm not seeing it anymore. I thought it was a whole thing. But
Yeah,
yeah,
the costumes are pretty rough.
yeah, it does not look good. So I mean, I could be wrong. Oh, there was a sequel, Scooby-Doo: Curse of the Lake Monster.
Gosh, I really do want to watch these
Let us
just
know down,
because they're. I mean, I know it's not going to be good, but just for fun.
let us know down below. You want a Scooby-Doo cast?
The Scooby looks pretty fucking bad in the photos.
But was I right when I said Velma was stupid hot?
She's pretty hot. She's pretty hot. Unfortunately, for your question, I was just looking at photos of Linda Cardellini. So
I
it's tough for me to call anyone stupid hot
gotcha.
after that.
Um, okay, so I'll talk about this next. We're getting more Gigabash DLC. This one's called Godzilla Nemesis. Don't know when it's for sure coming out, but it's exciting. That's all we really have on it. I'm thinking we got to get King Ghidorah as one of the DLC since it is Nemesis, and then I'd also probably bet, like I was thinking in my head, like you got to have space. I mean, not you don't have to, but I think Space Godzilla would be another good one for the Nemesis moniker, and then King Kong I'd put there too because it's like yeah, they fight a lot, and then like if it's just Nemesis, like I don't know, Biolante maybe. Because like Mothra to me is not a nemesis, and also playing as Mothra would fucking suck.
Yeah. I mean, what would you do? Just get pinned to a fucking skyscraper by who was it that did that? Was it Rodan that did that?
Rodan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, because if it's like Heisei Mothra, it's just like, oh yeah, I'll spam some laser beams and some webbing, and then I'll hit you.
Always reminds me of Austin Powers, that bit they do in all their movies, or and
Yeah.
it's just a slow moving truck. So
But
funny.
for anyone that's listening that's played Giga Bash, my brother, you're the only one. Let me know down below who would you want to see the DLC, and also, guys, play Giga Bash. It's good, I promise. Okay, we're gonna get. I'll mention that last because it's a comic book podcast. But Marvel wants to bring back Wesley Snipes for Secret Wars. I'm all about it. I think that'd be freaking awesome. And what's he doing? Like he probably needs the money for his taxes.
Yeah. I've said several times on this show that I like his Blade movies. I don't care how trash they are.
Yeah,
And last thing I saw him in was Expendables. So yeah, I'm sure he's not doing too much.
yeah,
He was a good Blade too.
yeah.
He was what you needed as Blade in 2002.
Yep. I mean, he was because like I don't know, really like whenever I was a kid, like the only thing that I knew Blade from before those movies was the Spider-Man animated series. So I was like, yeah, this is spot on.
Yeah, for me, for me, um, like late high school, early college, Scott and I were really into Ultimate Alliance,
Oh yeah.
and Blade was a DLC character in that, and that was about the time that we were just unironically watching the Blade movies a lot because we just thought they were cool. So, I was like, yeah, he's an edgy vampire killer. Like this is what he is in the game too.
Yeah. I mean, that was also your like leather jacket phase too, where you had your long leather jacket that you would wear everywhere, and you're like, anyone that's got this is cool in my book.
For the record, that is not correct. I did not wear a long leather jacket.
Oh, dude, I wish you would. That would have been awesome.
I can think of some people we went to high school with that would have worn a long leather jacket.
And if
I
they're listening right now, let us know. Was that warm? 'Cause I don't know if it would be.
don't know, dude. In the
'Cause-
summer, I bet it's sweltering.
oh, in the summer, but in wintertime, like have you ever worn a leather jacket at wintertime? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're like, oh, this does not keep me that warm. There is like once this gets cold, it stays cold. Okay, my last bit of news. I'm pretty excited about this too, but a public domain's coming back and it's getting a spin-off called Domain. And it's gonna be a comic book in a comic called Domain. It's 5 issues. I'll pull up the creative team really quick. But yeah, it's gonna be by Zdarsky because I he sent this out on his email chain thing that he has. Um, where is it? But I mean, are you excited for more of the public domain?
Yeah, that was a series that I just forgot about until you mentioned it just
Yeah.
now. Like it was a good series. Um, but admittedly kind of forgettable, until you
Hmm.
just said it. But
Yeah.
I will definitely read all 5 issues because it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Well, I think public domain is going to be more than that. He didn't say how many this is, but this is just domain. So this is it's the actual comic that they're making. So it's going to be by Zdarsky and illustrated by Rachel Stott and Aaron and Giolini. So should be cool. I'm gonna have to check both out.
Yeah.
But that is the news for this little news week. But I'm honestly not surprised they didn't really announce anything at C2E2 because like the only time they've ever that I can like they don't really ever announce anything at C2E2. Like the biggest thing that I remember them ever announcing there was when Mark Waid was like launching his own online comics. And that was just Mark Waid, it wasn't like DC or Marvel doing it.
Yeah. True. I mean, maybe like that first or second year, they were announcing like the next wave of New 52 books that were coming
Oh
out,
yeah, I remember that.
which was pretty dope. Um, that's also when Kyle Higgins and Scott Snyder were showing us panels of upcoming Batman and Nightwing issues on their phones, which was
Yeah.
like, holy shit, this is cool. No one else is seeing this.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, that's the only other time that I can really think of. I guess I shouldn't I didn't mean for it to come off like I was expecting news. It's just like with a bigger con like that, it's not surprising if there is some news.
Yeah, it's just the weird thing with C2E2. It just seems like it's kind of news-wise the unloved stepchild of the Reed Pop groupings because it's like New York, you're always going to get news. San Diego, of course, you're going to get news. C2E2, they're just like, no,
Yeah,
I don't get it, but the actual real reason they didn't have any news this time is because they knew we weren't there.
that's true. There's nothing for us to cover.
Yeah, they're like, if the two world boys aren't here, then no news for you guys.
Yeah, Marvel and DC, get out.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, what'd you read this week?
So I read, got a little stack here. I read The Flash #8, Night Thrasher #3, Duke #5, Wolverine 48, Blade #10, Daredevil #8, Creature from the Black Lagoon issue 1, Batman Dark Age book 2, and The Six Fingers #3. What about you, man?
I read Conan the Barbarian 10, Green Arrow 11, Dawnrunner #2, Creature from the Black Lagoon Lives #1, Blade #10, The Six Fingers #3, and Batman Dark Age book 2.
Ooh, skipped out on old Daredevil. You made the right
Oh
choice.
no, I did read that.
Oh, okay.
I had to sell my copy to somebody.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but I did read it.
Were you like $12 instead of the 10, please? I gotta make a profit on this.
Oh, but I was like, fair warning, I've read this once, but it's still in perfect shape. But if you
Yeah,
want it that bad, I will sell it to you. And he was like, yeah, I really want to read it. So there you go.
right on. Well, I'll just start with The Flash by Jake's favorite Simon Spurrier with art by Ramon Perez and Vasco Georgiev. I'm gonna say this. Ramon Perez, I like his art, but boy, I hate this other art. Like, just really quick, get some mouth action from
Oh,
Flash.
yummy.
I do not like it. It's like it's overly like it does too much. It doesn't look good what it's trying to do. But then the Ramon Perez art is like such a nice palette cleanse.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah. So yeah, Barry's running around saving stuff, and then like all the other Flashes are running around saving stuff, and it's fine. Like this is 8 issues in. It feels like we're like 15 issues in because this is like we're not like it's kind of moving forward every once in a while, but it just doesn't feel like the story's going anywhere. So I don't know, like we're there. It's just like every issue is just more questions and less answers, and it's getting old. So yeah, I mean, this was a better issue, but that art wasn't very good in the beginning, and you know, like I'm saying, we're just not like it doesn't. I have a feeling it's gonna go somewhere, but holy crap, it's been 8 issues. I want something a little bit more than this. So I am gonna say a 6 out of 10.
Right on. Also, I'm going to cut in for a hot sec because I meant to say this before we did the news. By the time you're hearing that means that on Saturday is free comic book day. And wherever you're listening to this, find your local comic shop and go in and pick up some free comics and also buy something from them because they paid money to get those comics for you. And it would be really nice if you gave them a little money in return. So I'm sure wherever you buy your comics from, they're going to have some good sales going that day. Maybe some artists are hanging out or writers. Just check it out. Check it out and have a good old Saturday.
Yeah, what does Comic Headquarters offer anything for Free Comic Book Day? Do they do anything?
They do. They do indeed. They're gonna have three very talented artists there: Brian Atkins, Joe Wills, and John Boren. Um, There's also going to be several tables outside full of cool posters and quarter comics. And then doing sort of a tiered sale on the stuff that's inside the store, all back issues, trades, hardcovers. All of that is 25% off. And if you spend 100, it goes up to 30. And if you spend 200, it goes up to 35 or something. I don't know. Look on the socials. It's all posted there. Uh, but yeah, that's what I'm doing. It's gonna be a good day.
Nice, man. I saw someone posted their comic book shops thing. The person was like, "Oh, the cheaper books had a higher percentage off." And then like when you got to like, what would be like their CGC graded stuff, it's like anything over 100, it's 10% off. I'm like, I mean, it's smart business. I get it, but at the same time, it's not that good of a deal.
They're trying their best on the stuff they dumped a
Yeah.
lot of money into.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping I thought it would be funny if you were like, we got three great artists, and then we have some tables outside for the not so great ones.
All right. I am going to talk about Conan number 10. Also, David Aha did a cover.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I had to get that.
Hmm.
But the book is written by Jim Zub and Rob De La Torre did the art. And it was good. It's it has to do more with King Cole and some mysterious tower that sunk into the earth. And I assume that they're going to team up and see what happened to that tower in the village. So we'll see what happens next time. But it's solid as always. I like it. I'll give it a 7.5.
Right on. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Night Thrasher, issue 3 by Jay Holtman, Nelson Daniel. So last issue, if you remember, it ended with Night Thrasher beating up Rage, and then just it really messed up old Harlem because New York isn't used to superheroes fighting each other and destroying their buildings, apparently. And that just it ruined. And like everyone's like clutching their pearls over it. And then there's some people that are mad that, they call him the OG, but Rage is in jail. It's like he was basically getting a bunch of kids, training them and using them to steal stuff. Like he deserves to be in prison, guys. And so they try to make it like this political thing going on, and I'm just like, this is pretty stupid. Like that's the best way of me putting it. It's like it's one thing to do like, oh, police brutality, all this type of stuff in your books, and you can make it work. But when you have the guy that you're trying to say is in the wrong, or the guy you're trying to say isn't in the wrong, literally be training kids to steal cell phones, I hate to break it to you, but he's in the wrong. So like it just doesn't work at all for me. Like I wanted to like it because I like Night Thrasher it's cool seeing Rage again, but yeah, I'm gonna go probably and like because the art's not even good enough for me to be like, well, the art's still really good. It's like the art's okay. I'm gonna probably go like 3.5
Oh my
out of 10.
gosh,
Like
abysmal.
yeah, I'm probably done with this book. I apologize if you've made your orders already, but
Just can't stick it out to 5. It's that bad.
I mean, I could if you're like, dude, please, no one else is reading this. But and then I would talk about it on the podcast still. Like I would do that. But,
I'll let you know if it gets that bad.
don't order anymore.
All right. Green Arrow number 11. It's written by Joshua Williamson with art by Sean Isaacsy, Phil Hester, and Eric Capster. And it was fine. It was mostly a Malcolm Merlin like origin issue. And I don't know. So like the issue starts with because like last issue, he's in this cave and he and Roy have to fight the Hollow Justice League, right?
Hmm.
Well, this issue, it's the whole Arrow family because all the gals are outside and Connor, so they all come in, uh, and help like truly put a stop to the Justice League. Then we get this Malcolm Merlin origin, and then at the end, it's just Ollie versus Merlin and like the whole Arrow family, like every iteration of them from across time. And like it's good, but at the same time, it's like, fuck, man, we've been doing this for 3 issues, and why are we doing it again?
Yeah.
You know? You gotta fight these people, but it's not really them. Then you gotta fight these people, and it's not really them. And now I guess it's actually them, so there's a little more stakes to it, but we all know he's not really gonna fight him.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Is my complaint warranted?
I mean, it might be, but you might need to revise it next issue.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Because it could be one of
Yeah.
those ones where he's building up something that you're not expecting.
Yeah. I'll say the Malcolm Merlin origin stuff was done by Phil Hester, so that was like a nice little nostalgia piece for me. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go like a 6. It just wasn't doing it for me.
That's like the lowest grade you've given a Williamson Green Arrow.
Mm-hmm. I know. I was really looking forward to that book
Yeah.
this week.
Well, speaking of Joshua Williamson, Duke issue 5 by Josh Williamson and Tom Riley. So yeah, they're Duke's fighting a bat and this, and by bat it's, not an actual like, Batman bat. It's a robot, basically. You get Destro. I want to know, and like maybe Dan Waters will tell us with Destro, what's this? Like, I mean, is he just a disco boy? Disco, that's what the head is too. It's actually just he's a big fan of disco.
Well, see, the original character's name was supposed to be Disco, but it
Oh
got lost in
shoot.
translation and they called him Destro.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we learned something. And then Duke headbutted him, which it's just like that's got to be the dumbest move you could possibly do to metal head guy. But, he
I
ends
wish
up
that were his name.
well, that was his third name. It was like one of the disco metalhead guy, and then like, let's just go with
Yeah.
Destro. But yeah, so now and then Duke died. Soik. G.I. Joe just wants people to think he's dead because now he is the leader of a new covert operation. And that's basically how it ends. And I'm like, I'm in on this shit, guys. This is awesome. And then yeah, the next one that's being advertised is Destro by superstar writer Dan Waters. So
Nice. Gonna
yeah,
check it out.
dude. I mean, I'm all in on it, and like the only way I probably wouldn't have checked it out if it was like it this is written by, you know,
Simon
no,
Spurrier.
I would still check it out with Simon, but who was that one guy that did the stripper Nightwing?
Oh, it's
Sam Humphries.
Sam Humphries. That's
Yeah,
right.
I probably would check it out if it was Sam Humphries, but like Sam Humphries and Rob Liefeld doing Destro.
That's bad.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to check out the new Destro book. I've been loving all of the G.I. Joe stuff. The Transformer stuff's kind of losing me because I've never been a Transformer kid. But yeah, I'm gonna probably go 9. I love Duke. Duke as a whole, Duke's whole 9.5.
You're gonna check out Scarlet
Yeah, I mean, until I get like disappointed, I'm gonna check out all the G.I. Joe shit because it's just
until they
like,
become Night Thrasher issue 3.
Until it becomes, yeah. I mean, in all fairness, I was just like Night Thrasher, like it started off like fine, and then I'm like, it can only get better because Night Thrasher's so cool. And then I was like, boy, this is looking like my predictions for the NBA season this year.
All right. Dawnrunner #2, written by Ram V with art by Evan Cagle. This book's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
First of all, so like, the whole thing is like mechs fighting. Um, but the main gal has a daughter and she's playing with a toy mech. Who is it?
Oh, that's the Iron Giant.
It's the Iron Giant. Nice little call to the Iron Giant there, so that was fun. Um, yeah, dude, the fights between the mechs and the monsters just go so hard. The art's so fucking good. Like, I'm calling it now. We can timestamp this episode. Evan Cagle will be my artist of the year when it comes award time. Like, this shit is next level. So, I mean, goddamn, just fuck it, just look at that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that's like low quality because of the camera. The shit is so detailed, dude. But anyway, story's cool too. She links back up with her mech to try and figure out what visions she was seeing. And it turns out the mechs are kind of powered by human brains of deceased humans that died in the war. So the visions that she's seeing is from the brain that's powering her mech. And she's like, I had to figure out what this guy was going through. And it has to do with his wife and kids. Um, and it ends with like the war starting and like all these buildings are collapsing. So he's trying to find his two kids. And he does. He finds them on the very last page, and that's how it ends. So I'm liking it, man. I'm all in. Ram V's fucking awesome. Evan Cagle's fucking awesome. It's a 10 out of 10, and it's by far my pick of the week.
Nice, dude. Alrighty. So Wolverine issue 48. I got the Stretch Armstrong cover.
Pretty funny.
It's by Benjamin Percy and Victor Laval with Corey Smith doing the pencils. So yeah, like the last issue ended with them, the real big bad popping up in the Sabretooth War thing. And it's Creed's son, he's got his arms wide open and he's gonna be fighting he's gonna be fighting the like one part he like gets the like attacks one of the Stark Sentinels and he just takes over and he kills all the other Sentinels and like Laura Ween, that's what I'm gonna call Laura, X-23 Wolverine. She's like, I think I might have just killed us all because she like, sick the Sentinels on him and it was pretty funny. But yeah, so she had contacted X-Force and then Wolverine, who lost his powers in the last issue, was like going to this bunker that he's got. And then Sabretooth breaks free, and Quentin's like, ah, shit, guys, this isn't good, because he's still just a separate head. And then at the end, Wolverine has this silly ass adamantium armor that has the
That's the
also
most 90s thing I've ever seen.
right, and it's got the Muramasa blade, so he's gonna be, going after
Is that
old
the one
safe.
that can cut through adamantium?
It can. I think it stops the. It also stops healing factor too. I think it does both. But so yeah, he's got that, and that's how it ends. So this book is stupid and it's bonkers and it's awesome and it's gonna be an 8 out of 10. I just like it.
Nice.
All I got left is our mutuals, bud.
Same.
What's the order you want to do these bad boys in?
So I've got him sitting at Creature, Blade, Six Fingers, Batman.
Okay, and then we'll start with Daredevil since you don't have it, so we can get that out of the way
Yes.
first.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so Daredevil. I'll pull the first book. The first story is called Lost and Found by, or it's Introductory Rights, Part 8 by Saladin Ahmed with Aaron Cooter doing the art. And yeah, it was I like this story a lot. I've enjoyed the main story of Daredevil this whole time. They fight those one guys and then they see Bullseye, basically, and then they get like, oh yeah, there's a meeting tonight, and the big reveal at the end, I wasn't a fan of though. What'd you think?
I like the story a lot. We knew it was going to happen. I know that the Chip gave that character a good send off, um, but it was going to happen. So it didn't
Yeah,
bother me as much as it bothered you.
it's just annoying because it's like it seems really out of character for the way Kingpin ended last time and the way Bullseye ended last time because it's like they did not come off as let's work together type types. And then you factor in the stuff that Kingpin's doing in the X books right now, which I only saw a little bit of that with the, Iron Man stuff because he mentioned he's the White King in the Hellfire Club. So it's like he's doing like it just doesn't seem quite right. But then we got the next story is called Lost and Found by Saladin Ahmed and Tommaso Bianchi on the art, and this is a Electra Daredevil book, or not really. Like it's like she's in it, the main part. Then there's a kid. Normally, I hate children in comics, but I don't. I actually like this story. I thought it was pretty solid. What'd you think of that one?
It was fine.
Yeah.
Art was good.
Then Turk Takes a Bath by Ann Nocienti and Stefano Raphael on the art. I thought this was a fun, solid story. Anytime a bulldog is biting a bad guy's butt is also funny to me.
Yeah, I'm not a big Ann Nocenti fan, so I was expecting to hate that story, but again, it was fine. And I'll say this, she got a hell of an artist for
Yeah.
her
And
stuff.
I this is just what I hear. I hear Ann Nocienti's Daredevil run is supposed to be phenomenal.
Hmm.
So I've never read it, but I should because I love Daredevil. So
I'm pretty sure she brought in Typhoid Mary, unless I'm like way off on that.
I think you're right. But if you're off, I'm off, so who the fuck knows? But so then Hurts So Good by DJ Chichester and Ken Lashley on the art. This is Jake's favorite era of Daredevil, which
Fuck yeah. Tell me he didn't look dope as shit in
no,
that story.
he looks cool as all hell, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know anything about this era of Daredevil.
Hmm.
Because it sounds like they don't know that he's Daredevil, like the actual Daredevil. Like it sounds like he's faking, like it's him faking being whoever he's supposed to be, not Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
Um, Blind Leading the Blind by Elsa Sigurdsson and Eric Koda on the art. The art's really good. The story is,
Will you hold up a page? I don't remember which one this
I
was.
mean, it's gonna be kind of like here's the first opening splash page where you're like, oh, that's great because it's
Oh, okay.
that
Sure.
amazing costume. But it's the one where this guy's like, oh, Daredevil, they stole my Dorothy or whatever, and then it's like, oh, Dorothy's a dog, and then the last bits we got Maddie and Stick, which is a Calvin and Hobbes joke off, and then we have Kingpin of the Mob, which is King of the Hill.
That
Uh,
was funny.
I liked all of them. Then Can't See and Fago, which I'm not sure which one that is. I'm not smart enough to
Can
know.
I see it?
Yeah.
I know what they're going for, but
Yeah.
I
And
I
then
can't think of it.
the last one was Life's in Hell's Kitchen. And this is it's like a based off of a Matt Groening, known Jeffrey Epstein friend, Matt Groening's. Like he had this one thing where it was all rabbits and it was like I think it might have been just Life in Hell. But it's like pretty funny comic strip thing that he used to do. But yeah, I liked it. But the main problem is it's not worth $10 at
Right.
all.
I'm getting real tired of Marvel doing that shit.
Same, dude. And like it wouldn't be near as bad if it was like, oh yeah, we have this one book where it's just all the random Daredevil stories. but nothing that's in the main story. It's like, no, no, no. If you want to know what's going on for the next issue, like, because this is like an important issue.
I would say pivotal.
Yeah, it's like you have to spend 10 fucking dollars on it, and it's not worth that.
Yeah.
So
Now,
that,
if it were that big and it was all main story,
oh, that'd be
give
completely
it,
different. Yeah,
yeah.
100%. And what I think is funny too, and I'm going to compare it to this Creature of the Black Lagoon. This book, even though it's so much smaller, it just feels like a good quality book.
Hmm.
This one feels like it could fall apart in my hand.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not worth the $10, but it's not like the DC holiday specials where you're
Yeah,
like, fuck, only one of these was good. Like
yeah.
most of them were good. It's
I
just you wish you weren't spending $10 on it.
No, 100%. I think it should have been a $5 book,
Hmm.
personally.
They would have
But
sold a lot more too.
yeah. So for me, I'm gonna probably like, and I'll say this too, even though I'm not a fan, they should have had like a Frank Miller in there. They should have, if they're gonna charge $10, get
Dude,
Frank, get Chip,
Brubaker,
Brubaker
but
probably
Kevin
wouldn't.
Smith.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I hate to say it, Brian Bendis, he's known for as one of the top ones. So like get those guys in there too. And said no offense to 90s armored Daredevil instead of the 90s armored Daredevil.
Um, yeah, I can't go above like a 6.5 on that.
Yeah, no, it would be higher if it wasn't for the price, but yeah, I'm probably at a 6. I was like, when I saw, I'm gonna make a reference to that Sesame Street game where you'd give like where when I was a kid that I always talk about where it's like, oh, get 2 eggs when you'd hand the guy like 5 eggs and his hat would come up because that's too many eggs and we're stupid. That's how I was when I saw the price of this book after I read it. That's a very specific thing no one understands.
Dude, you have to send me a photo of that screenshot from that game, and I will Photoshop your face on it for the photo for this week.
Perfect.
Don't forget. Don't
I'll
forget.
I'll try to find I'll try to find it just while you're setting up for this next one, man.
All right. So we've got Creature from the Black Lagoon Lives, #1. It's by Dan Waters and Ram V on writing duties, and the art is by Matthew Roberts. So I'll admit, Casey, I've never seen Creature from the Black Lagoon in any fashion. I picked this up strictly for Dan Waters and Ron B. So I didn't really have a fucking clue what was going on throughout any of it.
Mhm.
Is he a good guy? Like in the movies? Have you ever
I
watched the
I've
movies?
never seen them. I'm like you. I picked up for this creative team. I think he's one of those, and if you're listening and you want to correct me, people, let me know. But I think he's one of those misunderstood. He's a scary looking monster, and he does stuff that's bad, but it's not like kind of like how Frankenstein drowned that girl in the movie because he just didn't understand what he was
Whoopsie.
doing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I
But
think it's
uh
like that, but I could be wrong.
but the creature saves a lady from drowning. So I was like, oh, maybe he's not a bad guy or whatever. Anyway, I really didn't super care about what was going on with this lady. I'm gonna
Hmm.
be honest with you. And the art was fine.
Yep.
I'll give it another issue, but if I feel this way about the next issue, I'm not gonna continue with it.
No, I get that. Yeah, it just like I really love the cover art, and I
Yeah, I
think
was
that
about to say that.
I think the creature looks great at the end that we see him.
Hmm.
The humans don't though. I'm
Yeah.
not a fan of the people, the way the people look in this. Any of them really.
Yep.
They just look kind of, I don't know, methed out, I think is the best way of putting it.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
So yeah, and the I think the story wise, it's going to be a slow burn. I have a feeling, it'll get better, but like this felt pretty slow as a first issue. But I think, like I said, I think it's going to get better.
Here's where I'm a little bit conflicted on it. This is like the shop owner in me talking. I sold out of this book like immediately.
Hmm.
Everybody was hyped for it. Everybody wanted it. I had phone calls for until Friday about it. Um, so it's like, okay, do I up my orders for number two because everyone wants it, or is everyone going to feel the same as I do about it, and I'll order more and then nobody fucking wants it?
I mean, personally, I don't know how it is, owning a shop, but I would maybe order the same amount or a little bit less because you're going to get drop-offs from a number one no matter.
Yeah,
Then there's going to be the people that are feeling like us, where they're like, I wasn't really feeling it. And then there's going to still be people that are like, oh no, I want to give this a full run because of the creative team.
yeah. Not only that, there's people that like their thing is Universal
Yeah,
Monsters. So, you know, I'll probably keep orders the same,
yeah,
but man, I wanted it to be a knockout issue. I wanted it to be what
same,
everybody was rushing to the shop for.
same. I think we're going to get that. It might be better collected though, but I have like 100% faith in Dan Waters and Ram V. So I'm like,
Yeah,
you know, they've got
yeah.
enough like good cred going that I'm
Hmm.
just like, yeah, whatever. I
Yeah.
I believe you guys. Where you at with it though?
Man, like a five.
Really? I'm probably at a seven. Like it to me, it's a C book. It's not, because he's the creature of the Black Lagoon. I just got it. But no, it's like like I said, just a C, an average book. Alrighty. So Blade by Brian Hill and Alana Casagrande on the art. Art's good. Story's fine. What'd you think?
I thought it sucked.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, 10 issues building up to this.
Yeah.
And the fight was over in 1 single second. And we get nothing about the characters after the fact. Blade just sits down and that's it. I was just like, wow, talk about the most anticlimactic ending of all time.
See, I didn't have any. I thought the fight, because the fight, was several pages, and then the right character killed her, I thought, and they stopped it and all that. But then it's like, oh yeah, there's gonna be more issues. This is just the Marvel ending this series, but next series they're coming back. We're gonna, like you don't get closure because all of this stuff is coming back. So
Yeah,
I,
but whenever they put out the Blade by Brian Hill trade paperback and that's how it ends, that's a fucking bummer.
yeah, unless Brian Hill's doing the next book too. Then this
Yeah.
is just part one of his run. Just like how, with perfect example. Steve Orlando, Scarlet Witch. It's the
The
same exact
third
thing.
series and She-Hulk.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought it was fine. I didn't, I thought it was pretty neat. Like, I don't know. It felt like an anime. I think Brian Hill has to be a fan of anime because that's what it kind of felt like to me. Um, yeah, I liked it.
The art was good, but I'll say this. And it wasn't as bad, but it's pretty much the same complaints as that last Iron Fist book, where it's like, let Blade give the killing blow. Like, yeah, it makes sense that that guy did it, and I don't know what else he would have done, but it's Blade's book. 10 issues of buildup for Blade versus the Adana. He's training with all these fucking characters. And
Yeah,
it
but
was just I don't know, man. It was just a
see,
weak ass ending.
I like that the ghost guy got it because it's like made sense. Like Blade's training still came in because he was using all of his different vampire techniques to distract her, but this guy whose whole life it is to kill that thing killed the thing. Either his life and death.
I guess.
So I'm probably at a 7 for this too. It's another perfectly fine C book, you know.
It was my least favorite thing I read. I got to give it a 4.
Oh, okay. Someone's I think you were just so salty over the Bucks losing.
Now I read it before the game.
Oh, damn.
So maybe I was salty because of Blade.
Yeah, there we go. That's the real thing that you were mad about.
Yeah. All right. The Six Fingers, number 3. It's written by Dan Waters. Really, Dan Waters and Ram V heavy week.
Yeah.
And art by Sumit Kumar. But I mean, the book's still cool as hell, man. We got to see like how he's getting away all the time. And I thought
Hmm.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And like I always enjoy this with books when I'm just like, I don't know what the hell is going on. And this one you get that in this. Like these last the la like the what would it be? It'd be 2 issues of this and 3 of the other. I was like, yeah, I don't really know what's going on, but it's just a regular who done it, you know? And now like after this issue, it's kind of everything's been tossed on its head. And I was loving it before, still loving it. I think it's so cool. I'm really interested in seeing where this goes. Yeah, I loved it.
I like it too. And like there are certain scenes where you're like, oh yeah, that was in the one hand
Yeah.
at that one part. Like it blends so well together.
Yep.
So I like it. It it's kind of crazy that this chick whose name I can't think of, she's just like along for the ride and she witnessed a brutal dismemberment. And
Yep.
she's just like, I'm here, I'm hanging out. It's like,
Right?
what have you seen in your life? This isn't freaking you out.
Right? Well, she's an artist. She's like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, she just needs a beret and some bongos.
One of those very long cigarettes instead of the ones she's smoking.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's cool. I like this book a lot. Probably probably a 9.
I'm at a 10. Obviously, like if you've heard me talk about these books, I just love them. There's no complaints I have for them. I think so far they've all been amazing. It's my pick of the week again.
Nice.
All right, so our last book, Batman, The Dark Age by Mark Russell and Michael Allred on the art. What'd you think, bud?
Dude, if I'm honest, I still really like this.
Yeah.
Like it's just so different. And like the issues are long, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking my time. I'm reading every little bubble, sometimes more than once. Like I'm just taking it all in and really liking just all the dialogue and shit, man. Like Mark Russell's just a damn good writer. And this
Mm-hmm.
this Elseworlds type story, this is what I want in a Batman Elseworlds book. It's just cool.
Mm-hmm. No, I liked it a good bit. Um, Mark Russell's a really good writer. And I love Allred's art, but I stand behind. I don't think his art works as well for Batman as it does for Superman.
Hmm.
But really, I do like it. Like it's, and I knew I would. I knew it was going to be one of those things where like I'm gonna have to like go more. The more issues I get with this, the more I'm gonna like it because like the first issue where it's completely different than Batman's normal origin. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna how I'm gonna feel about this, but as it goes along, it just gets better and better. So you kind of just accept it more and more. And the Ra's al Ghul in it was good.
I was gonna
And
say if you guys need sold on this issue, it's Bruce and like Oliver Queen, and there was someone else being
they called him
trained
Max, but so I'm assuming it's Max Lord,
in
but I'm
Max
not
Lord.
sure.
That's who it was. They're being trained by Ra's al Ghul in the Vietnam War. So it's just there's a lot there that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, and then I'm gonna say this though, even though I'm like, oh, I don't really like Allred's drawing Batman. Love his Ra's.
Yeah, yeah,
I
it's
thought
cool.
his Ra's like it gave me animated series vibes in the best ways. So
And
yeah, I
also
really
how he draws the creepy mask people at the end
yeah.
is good too.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoyed this book. I have a feeling Rachel Ghoul's gonna come back to bite him in the butt.
Hmm.
So where you at with that one, man?
And it's got to be like a 9.5.
Yeah, I'm at probably a 9. I liked it a good bit. But what are you excited for in the whole coming weeks?
There's not much this week, and that's always how it is the week of Free Comic Book Day. Um, I'm gonna go with Bear Pirate Viking Queen #1. I mostly ordered that for me, but I got a few extras in case someone else wanted to read it, and someone did. Someone put it on their list this week. So I'm gonna go with that. Immortal Thor, and probably Sonic Fang the Hunter.
Right on. So I am gonna say Godzilla, um, Hulk, and let's see. I'll say what's the furthest place from here? I haven't had that in about a year, I don't think.
Also, I could easily put Blood Hunt on there too. I genuinely am pretty
Yeah.
stoked for that first issue, so that should be cool.
All right. And then I was thinking today, what would you say would be the four most important, doesn't have to be best, but the most important comic book film adaptations and why?
So I don't know if you'll agree with this, but the first Spider-Man movie, I think, was really important because one, it was good then. I think it's still good now. Uh, but that was like j just for our generation, maybe. Like I remember seeing that in the theaters, and I don't remember too many movies from that time period of me seeing in theaters. That one just stuck with me. And obviously it spawned a trilogy. And am I correct in saying that that was like the first comic franchise to do multiple big movies like that?
It was one of the first ones, I think. There's another one that's on my list, even though I'm not a fan of it, but that I'll talk about.
Okay. Um, Next I've got Iron Man. I mean, I don't think there needs to be too much explanation as to why for that one. It kind of spawned the MCU as we know it. Um, I don't like these movies, but I'm lumping Infinity War and Endgame together and putting them on this list. Uh, I mean, just comic fans and average Joes alike just fucking crank their hogs to those two movies. So you got to add it on there. And
Yeah.
then uh, Guardians of the Galaxy #1. That movie pretty much shaped the tone of the MCU after it came out. So you
Hmm.
got to add it.
Yep. So, I would say Iron Man would be on my list. So you took that one from me. So but I'm still counting it. And then the one that I would say might be the most like important to the comic book movies as a whole is X-Men.
Oh
Because like
yeah.
because if that one hadn't happened, I don't know if like all these other studios would have been taking chances on all of this stuff, even though like let's be honest, X-Men 1, not very good. X-Men 2, pretty darn good. The rest of them can just be burned.
I disagree, but that's okay.
Like, okay, Days of Futures Past is good. And then that one that came out where it's like, yeah, there's a lot of stupid crap that happened where it's like, yeah, do you even know who Darwin is? The
First Class,
first
baby.
class. It's
That was
like,
a good one.
and then they like stress. They're like, yeah, I made these suits bulletproof. And then later on, Charles Xavier gets shot, and it's like, I can't feel my legs. It's like, Beast, did you make them bulletproof? Beast is just sweating.
His fur's all matted.
So yeah, like so I can hear arguments for those two also being good, but the rest of them, dumpster fires.
Man, I like Dark Phoenix.
I didn't even want to watch it because holy shit, Apocalypse was one of the worst fucking movies I've ever seen.
True, but you get to see Mystique finally die in Dark Phoenix, and it's like, holy shit, fucking finally.
um, so yeah, I'd say the X-Men movie, those, like I said, super important. Plus, we got Hugh Jackman from that, so thanks a lot. Um,
One
yeah, I
of our
said
favorite movie going experiences came from Hugh Jackman, Casey.
it came because of this fucking movie. Never mind, take it back. This movie's terrible. Batman Begins also would be high
Hell
on the
yeah.
list. Like, and just like the Nolan trilogy in general, because it's like, we wouldn't like DC's been trying to like recapture this ever since they left, and it's just not worked at all. Like they even
I'm
stuck Nolan's name on Man of Steel, and it still like didn't work.
true. It may not be as big as the Nolan films, and you didn't like it, but the Batman, most people like that.
Yeah, no,
It
I'm
almost got there.
yeah, it's just as I've said before, there's so many moments of Batman just being a fucking idiot that just does not work for me, where it's like, I don't speak Spanish. It's like, okay, Penguin can help you with a riddle. Like, come on. And then like he's just straight up running people over in his car, like the civilians, but then he can't kill. Like I hate like because that happened also in The Dark Knight. He's like
Dude,
blowing up cars, and I'm
yeah,
like, what are
and
you
Batman
doing?
versus Superman. They do it
Yeah.
in that every
Well,
fucking
in
movie.
all fairness, in Zack Snyder's Batman shit, it's just like he's just like a fucking psycho killer. Like it's one thing when it's like, yeah, he's a fucking maniac in the Zack Snyder ones. These other ones, he's not supposed to like, yeah, he's actively not killing the Joker. And then
Yeah.
then in this it's like civilians, I'll run him over. And then I'm gonna say the last one. I'm gonna go like very negative with it, but the Justice League, the Justice League, because boy, that set DC back years.
Dude,
It's influential in a bad way.
also the term Justice League is so
It
funny.
is. I wish I came up with it, but sadly I didn't. Let us know what you think's the most you know, important, influential, whatever comic book movies out there.
Yeah. Well, I'd really want to know this one, so chime in, please. All right. That's the end of the episode, folks. Closing plugs. Head on over to facebook.com/Two Worlds Podcast and give our page a like. You can also follow us on Twitter at two_worlds_PC and on Instagram at Two Worlds Pod. You can email us at twoworldspodcast@gmail.com. And if you would head on over to the YouTube channel, we are Two Worlds Podcast on YouTube. And also, final reminder, visit your local comic shop on Saturday for free comic book day.
Yep. Tell them the Two Worlds Podcast boys sent you. They'll know what that means.
Yep, because if you shop at comic headquarters, I'm one of them.
Let us know down below also um, if you could have like any color pencil right now, what would it be?
Fuck's sake. All right, guys, we'd love to stay in chat, but we have to go write several books per week, and all of them are pretty good except for Creature. So we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Boy.